following is a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.
It's time for the Robyn Fralick Show.
Underneath the rim to Van Sluten. She'll back up and bank it off the board for two. Out to Shoemate. Now Halleck, a right slot three. Bring it up! Darren Halleck hits a long ball. Shoemate wide open left wing three. Bring it up! The dagger from Emma Shoemate.
The Robyn Fralick Show is presented by Diversified Insurance Group, your independent insurance agency for home, auto, and life. The Robyn Fralick Show is also brought to you by One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartan Athletics. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. The Munn Team, Jan and John Munn at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Tommy Raines Realtors, realtors that get results. The MSU Federal Credit Union. Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. And by Coors Light. Choose chill. Now, with head coach Robyn Fralick, here's the voice of Michigan State women's basketball, Dalton Shetler.
Hello, all, and welcome to the Coach Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. We're live at One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing. If you want to join our audience for any of the MSU Coaches Shows, make your reservation by emailing coachesshows@onenorthdining.com. I'm Dalton Shetler. Glad to be with you all here today as we are fresh rolling in from down in the islands, and we have the star of the show, Robyn Fralick, here, back with a tan and a trophy. How are we doing, Robyn?
I'm not sure about the tan, but we did get a trophy, so we'll take that.
It was a little bit cloudier a couple of those days. They said they don't really experience that.
It was perfect. It was like 75 and sunny with a breeze. Then we rolled into Detroit Airport last night, and
it was a
good juxtaposition of temperatures.
I was going to say, can't say it was a warm welcome back to Detroit, even though we felt it on the inside. And, of course, you can see up here on the stage, we have Rashunda Jones. Spida is in the house. Everybody give it up for Spida. Thanks for being with us, Rashunda.
No, I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. We'll get into a little bit of Rashunda here in just a moment. But first, let's talk about what just happened down in the Bahamas. Michigan State women's basketball wins the Baha Mar Hoops Nassau Championship Junkanoo Division. And it took 2 wins over Temple and a win over Clemson. They were done a little bit differently, but I think both of them, your team stood up to the test and the challenge that faced them.
Yeah, definitely our biggest test of the year so far. You know, we knew going into Temple, really athletic, great rebounding team, a team that's been very good over the last few seasons. The physicality of that game was going to be really important. And then Clemson, who's been really good. You know, they've played a tough schedule. They shoot the 3 ball really well, so even when you're ahead, you never feel safe. But, yeah, definitely 2 different styles of games. Great test for us. Learned a lot and found a way.
Well, and that's one of the things that, Robyn, I know you and I sat down and we talked about it before the game got started in the pregame interview, but you have an opportunity for a trophy, an opportunity for a championship. Wherever you are in the season, you don't get many opportunities where you get to compete for a trophy on the line. What did that opportunity and the way that your team responded to that opportunity show you maybe about your squad?
Well, we made a big deal about that. And I mean, very rarely in November do you get a chance to play for a championship. A lot of times that's down the line, right? That's in March. That's you can talk about it, but it's far. And this was right in front of us, and we had an opportunity to win a tournament. I thought our team prepared like that, played like that, competed like that, and we were happy to bring our trophy home. It made the weight, fit in the airplane just fine. Wasn't too heavy, so we'll be happy to have that up in our offices.
Had its own seat for a moment.
It did have its own seat and its own seat belt.
I mentioned to Robyn that when the Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup in hockey a couple of seasons ago, they took that cup out into the ocean and they were partying with it out there on the beach and in the ocean. I don't think you ended up taking this one to the ocean, did you? You had an opportunity in the Bahamas.
Sounds like a great idea. I should have taken it down that water slide. There's this unbelievable water park there, and one of the slides was like straight down. So too bad it wasn't open after our game, or else we might have had to give that a try with the trophy.
Did you end up on that?
My kids did. I never made it.
Rashunda?
No, absolutely not.
Hey, she went in the water though, so
I went snorkeling.
That was a big deal.
I've never been before, and I told myself I wasn't going to do it, but I did it.
They were warning her about barracudas and all the things, and she still went in. So
could not have made that more intimidating before you end up going into the water. That's awesome. Well, we'll talk a little bit more with Rashunda and get to know her a little bit better when we come back. This is the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group here on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
The way with the most steals so far this season.
Just minutes from Michigan State University.
Over here!
Kitchen and Bar is your go-to.
Our guest of honor, Rashunda, has 27
You're
steals.
celebrating a win or catching up with friends. We've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.uofmhealthsparrow.org.
Spartan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold water, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes these moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is the official beer of Michigan State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
Welcome back to the Coach Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. We're here live from One North Kitchen and Bar, East Lansing, for all the Spartan Coaches radio shows. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. All right, we've gotten to be introduced to her a little bit, but now we're going to get to know her again. Give a nice warm welcome to the junior from South Bend, Indiana, number 1, Rashunda Jones. We're going to have some fun with Rashunda, but of course we have to start in traditional fashion here on the Robyn Fralick Show. We go with the 1 Mo Minute. Has word spread around the locker room about this yet to you?
No, not yet.
Okay, so we get to catch her by surprise. This is exactly what we like. Okay, so the game 1 Mo Minute that we play, we put 60 seconds on the clock. We ask you questions about yourself. It's just rapid fire questions about you. I could see the pause, the stare until you actually understood the game. But it's all about you. The whole goal is to see how many answers you can give in 60 seconds.
Oh, okay.
So, right? It's easy.
Yeah.
Jalen Brown in the opener had 22, so that's our high to start this season.
Okay.
But rapid fire questions are all about you. If you don't have an answer to one, you can say pass and elect to move on. And we also don't have the answer key, so if you in sake of time, if you've got a fib, we play on. It's kind of a gray area here. But okay, the clock will start once you finish your first answer. Okay, here we go. A genie pops out of the Magic Johnson statue and grants you one wish. What do you wish for?
The ability to win every game.
Who's your hero?
LeBron James.
Favorite class?
Math.
Favorite musical artist?
Ooh, Thai tribute.
Hidden talent?
I can cook.
Downtown condo or remote forest cabin?
Downtown condo.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Favorite way to spend a day off?
Sleep.
Favorite sports team?
Lakers.
Favorite month?
October.
Funniest person on the team?
Jalen.
Where's the dream vacation spot?
Bora Bora.
Pool or hot tub?
Hot tub.
What store would you max out a credit card at?
Ross.
Biggest hobby?
Got me there.
You can pass.
Shopping.
Shopping. If you're singing karaoke, what song do you pick?
Any song by Thai tribute.
Clumsiest person on the team?
Kennedy.
Favorite drill or practice?
Nance.
If you weren't playing basketball, what would you be playing?
Volleyball.
You can only eat one thing the rest of your life. What is it?
Pasta.
Favorite movie?
Loving basketball.
Favorite animal? Time. Just right there. Oh, this one's going to hurt you, Spider.
1 is by 1.
21.
The hobby and the favorite drill caught you for sure.
That's a good effort, though. Congratulate Rashunda Jones. First time ever, 1 more minute. She didn't even know it was a thing until just 60 seconds ago. So no preparation at all and came in with 21. Well, let's start here with Rashunda Jones. And you hear us talk about the nickname Spider. We'll call you that on the broadcast. We say it around the locker rooms or around the gyms. That nickname, for the folks who are uninitiated, how did this come about for you?
So I think I started playing basketball, I think, in the 7th grade. And so in the 8th grade, that's when I started getting serious. And my high school coach would watch film with me. And I love watching film. And he was like, you look so long and you're so fast out there. I'm going to start calling you Spider. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. And he started, and it never stopped. Ever since then, like, the kids call me it, the professors call me it, and then I don't even think anybody knows my real name.
But it is a pretty good nickname. Would you agree, Robyn?
Oh, it's got so much to it. It's got the, hand signal. Yeah, it's a good nickname. It matches the way she plays. Yeah.
I was going to say, and it came from a coach. Do you see that when you put on the tape or you're watching her in person? The drawing that's...
Oh, yeah, I love that. I mean, she leads us in steals. She's long and fast and kind of, deceptive, and you don't always know she's there, and very effective. So it's a nickname we like. It's really all we call you.
Yeah, no, that's all.
She's full-time Spider.
Yeah. I feel like if someone calls me my real name, I'm in trouble.
Well, let's talk a little bit, too, because you mentioned that it originates from high school, and Rashunda actually has a really great high school story with her team. She played at South Bend, Washington in Indiana, and it was not just a great high school basketball team, it's one of the greatest there ever was. And matter of fact, you and I were talking a little bit before the show that there's actually a documentary about your high school girls basketball team in Indiana.
Yeah, so it's called Panthers, and it's just based off of our sophomore year. Freshman year coming in, we didn't know what Washington could be because, Skylar went there, Emily went there, Karis went there. And so we didn't know what Washington could become. So we ended up going to state and losing my sophomore year. And then we created a motto that was called Run It Back because we were planning to run it back and win it my junior year. And eventually that's what happened. And we just put it out to where people can see the journey, like the tears, the blood, the sweat, like all of it. And it was amazing.
Well, I was going to say that first state championship game you lose to Silver Creek, you end up seeing that exact same team the next year when you go to win the state title, and you win it 93-35, the state championship in that game. You can see the smile still on her face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we took it personal, especially everybody. I think everybody took it personal. I think when you lose to a team that necessarily you're not supposed to lose to, it kind of fuels something. So that next year we went in beating teams by 30, 40 points that whole year, and we were getting complaints, and we were like, we don't care. We want to run it back. That's what our whole motto is. And so I think for us to be able to come back and beat the same team that we lost to, it meant everything.
Well, and Rashunda, in that state championship game where they win by almost 60, she had 17.6 rebounds and 5 assists. But, Robyn, you go through this profile of Rashunda Jones. You label her whatever kind of characteristics or athletic traits you might want to put on, but she's always been a winner.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe Spider. She's a winner. She does what the game needs, what the team needs, what the moment requires. True two-way player. We know that whatever matchup we put her on, she's going to be disruptive, makes the right play, whether that's a pass, whether that's to finish, clutch. She got the free throw line at the end of the game, and thank goodness she made a few of those so we could extend the lead. But just, winner. And one of my favorite things about her is she's a really good learner. So when you tell her something, she's able to apply it, and that way she's able to keep stacking. But a good learner, really smart player, and just does what the team needs. And what a great quality that is.
You mentioned the free throws. She went 8 for 8 in that title game over Clemson on Sunday.
I was like, Spider, get open.
They clap it up for her. Rashunda's made 13 straight free throws now, and if you look at the season work, 86.7% from the line. That's the 6th best mark you're going to find in the Big Ten Conference. But it doesn't stop there for Rashunda because it's not just great work at the cherry stripe. She's also 2nd in the Big Ten in steals per game at 3.4, and she's 6th in the country in assist-to-turnover ratio of 4-1. That's some excellent stuff being done there by number one. Absolutely. Clap it up for her. But you hear those numbers. Robyn, I'll start with you. It doesn't really surprise me reading that, and I'm sure it doesn't to you either, how valuable and impactful she's been.
Yeah, it's just a physical impact on the game. I always say the best players have a physical impact on the game. They rebound, they win possessions, they make the right play. She can play with or without the ball, right? She can make plays with the ball. She does a great job moving without the ball. So it's been really fun. I'm glad, we used to have to scout against her and get prepared to compete against her. And now I'm glad she's on our team because she's a winner and she's made us a lot better.
And to that point, of course, I don't think we've even mentioned earlier on, transferred from Purdue. She was one of the star players for the Purdue Boilermakers. But you entered the portal, Rashunda, and what was it about Michigan State that stood out to you? What drew you to East Lansing?
I would say I thought it was just like a blessing in disguise. I think Michigan State was my top 3 before I picked Purdue. And I think once I entered the portal and they hit me up after, I was just like, nah, that's God. That got to happen. Like, that has to happen. And it's just it was amazing for me. And then I think the team, they're a winning program. Coach Fralick is a winning coach, and I hate losing more than I love winning. So it was just meant to be, I felt like.
Well, out to an 8-0 start on the season, haven't had to hate much. So that's the good news about being here at Michigan State for you, Rashunda. But it's really interesting, too, because you talk about Coach Fralick and what she's done here. The program, the culture, what's your observations? Because we keep talking about it's unique what's kind of happening here at Michigan State women's basketball.
I think it's unexplainable. I think you can't explain the type of culture that we have because it is a family, but it is also like family friends. Like we know how to talk to each other, we know how to get along, but it also it translates on the court as well. So I'm able to talk to Coach Fralick just like a regular person and not like a coach necessarily. And I love being able to do that.
Well, and look, we had a delay last night on the airplane. We were waiting for a little while, so I'm scrolling through
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. That's just what we needed at that time. But scrolling through Twitter, and I actually ran into your tweet where you said something giving credit to God and that He'll give you your spark.
Yeah. So I think I give Jesus Christ all my credit. I wouldn't be the type of player I was without Him. I wouldn't be the type of person I was without Him. And I think I fell into a really bad depression about a year ago, and I slowly but surely and now fastly have found myself digging myself out that hole, and I think I'm completely out, and I think I'm just completely free and got my spark back. I love basketball. I love giving back. I love the sport and what it gives you when you pour out.
Mm-hmm. How wonderful is that, huh? And that's the thing too, Robyn. Look, we've talked about Rashunda a lot as a player, but this is a really bright person. How keen were you onto that when you went after her?
Well, just the people that we knew Spider really well had so many great things to say about her. And one of my favorite things that I've gotten to learn with getting to really coach her and be side by side with her, she's incredibly generous. She's somebody who she always is thinking of other people. She's thinking of ways to give back. She's thinking of ways to give back to her community, and she plays like that. Generous. I always say when you worry about the right things, the game rewards that, right? When you worry about the right things, there tends to be a way for things working out, and she has that on the court, and off the court, which has been really, really great to watch. Is her generous spirit as a human being and the way that she gives back to people.
Well, I'll ask a couple more questions before we let Rashunda go eat and enjoy the rest of her day and maybe sleep a little after our trip from the Bahamas. But one of the things as we continue to get to know Spider a little bit, if you pay attention during the games at the Breslin Center when we're back home, you'll see with anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes left on that clock on the scoreboard, Rashunda and Jalen Brown bow their heads together. How did this tradition and pregame routine start?
I just like I said, Jesus Christ is my everything. Without Him, I'm nothing, and I think He gives me the ability to play basketball, so it's only right that I thank Him and praise Him before the game.
And you and Jalen,
Jalen feels the same way that I feel. I think we're very open in our faith, and we're not afraid to say that we love Jesus. And I think it's important for little kids and little girls and boys out there, everyone pretty much, to know that you can praise God unashamedly.
Yeah, very nice. It's a really great sentiment to hear that from Rashunda. Absolutely applaud that. I do want to ask you and Coach Robyn Fralick a little bit too. your ability to pressure the ball. It is something that it feels like it's taken another step. We gave you the number earlier, 3.4 steals per game. It's second best in the Big Ten Conference, but it's a pretty unique level that she does it, Robyn.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that when we had that when she went in the portal, we just felt like she was such a good fit for the way we play. We love speed, we love disruption. We love to try to bother other people, and she's fast and she's smart. So when you put those two things together, we knew going into the Clemson game, their point guard's a jet. She's kind of the engine that makes them go. And I thought Spider was really able to neutralize her, which was a huge part of us being able to win that game, is being able to, we felt like more for them was a key for them being successful. So she uses her speed, she uses her brains, and she puts that together. She uses her spider length, her spider superpowers. But we knew that coming in that she would be such a match for us on both sides of the ball.
Well, and Clemson's star player, you're right, Mia Moore. Yeah. We heading into that one said you had to make Mia Moore Mia less, and Rashunda did that.
She did, and that was a tough matchup. At the end of the game, Spider comes up to me. There's like 2 minutes left. She's like, "Coach, I need a sub." I said, "No, you don't."
Dig in.
I said, you can rest all day tomorrow.
All right, real quick, the snorkeling trip. What all did you see?
So I kept my eyes closed for about.
That kind of defeats the purpose of snorkeling, doesn't it?
75% of the time I was in, but the 25, I did see fish. I seen a lot of coral reefs. I seen a lot of feet because everybody was in there. But I'm telling you guys, I was only in the ocean. We were there for about an hour 15. I was only in the water for about 3 minutes.
But you did it.
But I did it. Yeah, I called my mom and everything. My mom was like, "Yeah, I can't believe you did that one."
That's awesome. Well, Rashunda Jones, thank you so much. Everybody give her a nice big thank you for hanging out with us here today.
Thank you.
Appreciate having you. We're live from Lansing with the head coach of the Spartans, Robyn Fralick, and our show is presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You're listening to the Robyn Fralick Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Over Temple and Clemson are the first for the Spartans down in the Bahamas since MSU beat what team in 2019 on the island?
3 things. 1, you love saving money and earning cash back. 2, you have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3, when it comes to your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit MSU.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board.
They were in both.
Green.
Farm Bureau Insurance invites you inside the green for an exclusive dinner with basketball coach Tom Izzo. This unique experience includes a private dinner for one winner and 3 guests with Coach Izzo. The winner also receives a private tour of
Kansas!
future home game
In 2019, the Spartans beat the Jayhawks 65-60.
Insurance, proud sponsor of Michigan State Athletics.
There's a difference between an answer and a mission answer. It starts with people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career in one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day together. Join us at careers.womenhealthsparrow.org.
We are back live on the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. When you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local teams across the Midwest, from big league stadiums to the neighborhood ball field. Learn more at Meijer.com/community. All right, Robyn, let's dig a little bit deeper into the week that was for Michigan State women's basketball down in the Bahamas, because as we mentioned, you had an 85-50 win over Temple. You had a 72-64 win over Clemson. And certainly your team was tested in more ways than one and in some different ways this year, but your players continued to respond. And I thought one of them was just up here. Rashunda Jones just gave you some big minutes. She had 18 in that win over Temple. She had 16 in the win over Clemson, and she did a lot more than just scoring.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some good tests. With Temple, we knew the physicality, and then Clemson, it was a close game, which we haven't had yet this season, which was, we were up 16, and all of a sudden they went on an 8-0 run in a minute and a half right before halftime. So I was like, ew, boy. But, and they cut it to 1, and it was a back and forth. We extended, and we were in some critical situations. You have to get stops. You have to hit free throws. You got to execute. And, we had so many different people step up. I mean, you mentioned it. Spider made some big layups down the stretch. Kennedy Blair had a double-double. Grace was the MVP of the tournament. So, and one thing I've really liked about this team is our depth. And there's been a lot of people we've been able to count on at different points of time. Abby Kimball subs in the last 6 minutes and does everything she's supposed to do defensively, which was important because they can get back in the game in a hurry with the way they shoot the 3 ball. And so some of our X-outs and closeouts and she just, was right on point with that. So, proud of our group. I think we've counted on a number of people in different times, and they've been ready.
Well, and you talk about that depth. Look, heading into that last game, the most recent one against Clemson, there was no Theron Halleck in that game. And I know there isn't much of an answer or any clarity to that at the moment.
Well, she has got a foot issue, so hopefully we're going to find out more this week and find out what that means and what the plan will be.
Sure.
Yeah.
But in her absence, you mentioned some of the players that stepped up in big ways. I thought Julianne Woodard got some early minutes and played really well. I thought Abby Kimball, as you mentioned, stepped in. Amy Terrian also checked in the third quarter earlier on and stepped up big. But Abby Kimball, with a couple minutes left, the ball goes inside to Demira Hine. She snuck behind the Spartans back line, 6'3", and Abby Kimball stonewalls her on defense. And that was really one of those turning points I thought of the game.
Yeah, and had a big box out, had a big X out where they were skipping it, trying to get a 3, and was there, on time on the catch, and just she was ready, and I always say, like, the game rewards that, like, just be ready, worry about the right things when called upon, execute what's needed, and when you get a group that's just worried about how do we win, and how do we do this together, and how do we rely on each other? With Theron out, obviously that was a change for our team and different people needing to step up. And, I thought Emma Shoemate, it was one of her better defensive games. I know that she's been someone we can rely on to shoot, but she was dialed in defensively. Jalen Brown came in, gave us some good minutes in the middle of that game. So that's what we're going to need out of our teams throughout the year. I think that's what makes a team special, is that when you can count on different people and people step up.
When you brought up Emma Shoemate, she went 2 for 2 from 3 in that game. She hit some threes. She's been really dialing up at a pretty unconscious rate at this point of the season already. But the team shot 6 for 9 from 3.
Yeah, we gotta get more threes than that. We finished the game and you're like, we can't just shoot 9 threes. Like, we made the ones we shot for the most part, but we got to obviously find ways to get more threes off than that. But same thing, found another way to win. Without getting a lot of threes.
Well, and heading into that game, Michigan State was third in the country in three-point field goal percentage at 42, which now is elevated thanks to a 67% shooting performance in that one over Clemson. But also, Michigan State was fourth in the country at threes per game at 11 a game. Your team's ability, look, in year one here in East Lansing, you helped the Spartans set a new school record with 283 made threes. You're averaging more than 10 a game right now. You'd be on pace to break that record.
It's all in support of the Abood Law Firm, and I think, right?
That's right.
The more threes we make, the more generous we are, the more we can give back. So I just keep reminding our team, come on, generosity. The threes we make, give right back to the community. But yeah, so far that's been, you got to be multidimensional throughout a season. So if we didn't get as many threes against Clemson, but found a way to win. But that's when we can be multidimensional, we're better.
Well, since you're so giving, and it's just a total message right across the board, the Abood Law Firm is proud to sponsor the Beyond the Arc campaign. Abood Law Firm will donate $25 for each Spartan three-pointer to the Izzo Legacy Foundation. Thanks to the Abood Law Firm for supporting the Izzo Legacy Foundation. Michigan State women's basketball, 82 made threes. The men have made 50. That's $3,300 so far being donated by the Abu Law Firm.
The next thing we need is we got to get some generosity around rebounds because that might motivate them too.
Well, that's a great idea. All right, well, here we got a couple more things to talk about. And matter of fact, we still got to get to our call of the week. Okay. There were a couple of big buckets in those games at the end of the third quarter. Emma Shoemate hit a buzzer beater at the end of the third in the win over Temple. Kennedy Blair got one against Clemson. Let's go ahead and listen to both with our broadcast call of the week.
Sends an overhead skip across to Shoemate, right corner three. Bring it up! Oh, the stare down from Shoemate, too. She is feeling it. And that's how the third quarter comes to a close. Emma Shoemate, red hot on the beach in the Bahamas. 60-35 Spartans lead as we move to the fourth quarter. Searching with 5. Now to Blair, left corner for 3. Bring it up! Don't you dare, Kennedy Blair! 65-44 Spartans lead here at the end of the third.
So there are a couple of critical buckets help close out those third quarters to help Michigan State win. You mentioned, too, a double-double there from Kennedy Blair. 22 points, I believe, in that win over Clemson. She's really taking her game to another level.
She is, and she even missed some layups, you know, and she just was so aggressive to the basket. She got us going early in the game, but the thing that has been most valuable is her rebounding. She's just double-digit rebounds from a guard. You know, she's been our best defensive rebounder. That is such an important thing she brings to our team.
I was going to say, look, I did not before the season believe that Kennedy Blair would be the leading rebounder. But obviously you've seen some stuff in the offseason and how she's elevated her game to be in that position. That really, more than the points, maybe more than the assists, I think that speaks volumes to her growth.
Well, it's so valuable. I mean, it's so important. It's such a big part of winning is getting the ball back or not giving them the ball back. And I always say, like, some kids just have an instinct to go after the ball, and she goes after the ball all the time.
She plays with a fire. It's a lot of fun to see. Frankly, you want to join us for the Michigan Sports Brief every weekday on all of our Spartan Media Network affiliates, presented by Frankenmuth Insurance. Find a local independent agent near you by visiting fmins.com. We'll be back with more from the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University Federal.
No, not Florida State.
No. To be an MSU FCU member, you just need 3 things. 1, you love saving money.
Not someone from California.
You have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3, in the future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
There's a difference between an answer.
Their baseball team was just in the College World Series this year, and their mascot's very hard to pronounce.
University of Michigan Health.
Yes, there you go. Coach Jackie.
Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning colleges.
Coastal Carolina.
We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.uofmhealthsparrow.org.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on home insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the assembly instructions first. Hold it. Before building the bookcase.
And done.
You can.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates from Illinois.
Thanks for joining us for the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. Farm Bureau Insurance invites you inside the green for an exclusive dinner with basketball coach Tom Izzo. For details and to register, visit InsideTheGreenSweeps.com. Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of Michigan State Athletics. All right, Rob, we've talked a little bit about the Bahamas, the basketball, a little bit of snorkeling. The Baha Mar Resort had a lot of neat opportunities, I think, for the student athletes, whether it was walking around and seeing the flamingos, the tortoises, or there was even a pool that had kind of a glass display where there were sharks and stingrays and everything in there.
Incredible resort. I mean, what an opportunity for our program, for our student athletes. I mean, unbelievable, beautiful, so many opportunities. They even had like a pool where you could cliff dive. They had a water park. The beach was amazing. First class tournament. The facilities were great. I have to give credit to Coach Dean Lockwood. He does our scheduling. So he really lined us up. But, you know, when we can combine a great experience with great competition, we love that for our program and for our student athletes to get that.
Well, and you know that cliff dive area you're talking about, the pool, what it was replicated after, right?
What was that?
Dean's Blue Hole.
Oh, that's right.
It's the famous Dean's Blue Hole down there in the Bahamas. So it's...
Yeah. Well, Coach Weimer said he was going to do a cannonball, and then it turned into a version of a cannonball.
With no 10 on the scorecards after Weimer's jump in? Is that he says no?
A little higher than you think once you get up there. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Real quick here before we step aside to the next break, It is now time for our Alumni Hall Trivia. Today's winner will receive tickets to the next home game and a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall. Thanks for participating in Alumni Hall Trivia. Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartan shopping experience. All right, here's our question for today. With Sunday's win over Clemson, the Spartans now lead the series 2-1 all time with the Tigers. The other win was from 2007 here in East Lansing, 68-51. Which Spartan led the green and white in scoring in that win over the Tigers? Now, again, it's 2007, so it's a little bit of context clues. Think about some of the high scores from that squad. And if you think you have the answer, step up to the microphone just down on the edge of this table, and we'll see if you don't win a couple of tickets and a $25 gift card. The Robyn Fralick Show is presented by Diversified Insurance Group. We'll be back with more after a break on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Farm Bureau Insurance invites you
right here.
Green.
Spider!
Basketball coach Tom Izzo.
She's made 26 free throws. Most importantly, at an 86.7% clip.
Also receives a private
way to go, Spider.
An autographed basketball from Coach, tickets to a future home game, and more. For more details and to register, visit InsideTheGreenSweeps.com. Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of Michigan State Athletics.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. The answer is no. To be an MSU FCU member, you just need three things. 1, you love saving money and earning cash back. 2, you have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3, when it comes to your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
On the court, the MSU women's basketball team shows us the power of teamwork and dedication. Off the court, Diversified Insurance Group brings that same commitment to protecting what matters most. As an official partner of Michigan State University Athletics, we're proud to stand with the Spartans. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, Diversified Insurance Group has the coverage you need to stay ahead of the game. Personalized solutions just like a perfectly executed play. Visit WeDigInsurance.com today and let's win together on and off the court. Go green, go white, go MSU women's basketball.
Diversified Insurance Group presents the Robyn Fralick Show. Michigan State women's basketball off to an 8-0 start, ranked 20th in the country, and the first net rankings came out just yesterday, and Michigan State ranks 7th in the nation according to the net rankings. So, yeah, give a nice big congratulations to Michigan State on the early net rankings. And Robyn, I think you now are trying to go for my job.
I got it. Yep. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, Diversified Insurance Group has the coverage you need to stay ahead of the game. Personalized solutions, just like a perfectly executed play. Visit WeDigInsurance.com today, and let's win together on and off the court.
Hey, how about that? That was pretty well done, right? Nice work. You got a future career in media at some point, right?
I'm ready. I'd love to sit back and tell everybody else what they should do when the game's happening.
Hey, there's a reason why I'm over here with the headset on. But nonetheless, I want to real quick get into a little bit of that trip still for Michigan State down in the Bahamas. And look, we've talked about a lot of different angles, but I think a couple of the things that we still have yet to hit on, because we mentioned there's some adversity faced, whether it was not having one of your starters in Theron Halleck or playing in a close game where you had to find a way to win against Clemson.
Yeah.
Moments like that, I think, reveals characteristics about your team. It lets you learn a little bit more about your squad. What were the things you learned from it?
I learned that we responded. I mean, they cut it to 1 the beginning of the second half. I thought Kennedy had a huge pick. We turned it over, and she literally picked the kid, got a layup, and we got some momentum back. You've got to get enough stops, right? You've got to be able to score in some critical possessions. And we also didn't do some things right, where I thought we could have extended it to a 10, 12, 14-point game and let them hang around too long. So great film from that. We're going to get there's a lot to learn from that today when we tune in on that. But we had enough of a lead that some of those mistakes didn't bite us. But in the future, we can get better at it.
Well, and I was going to say, for Michigan State, heading into that game, the Spartans were number 1 in the nation at turnovers per game, only coughing it up 8.6. That game, you had a few more turnovers.
Oh, the game feels real different when you turn it over. Yeah, we had 16.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, whew. The game's a lot harder, and some of them, we'll see film on it. It was just we were sloppy. It was like sloppy passes. I don't necessarily think it was Clemson. It was some of our decisions, and it was just being a little bit careless with the ball.
Well, and you shared great insight on one of our pregame conversations a couple of weeks ago, because I was asking you about rebounding. Because the number 1 priority with Robyn Fralick, based on the conversations this season, is rebounding for your team.
It's just so important for winning.
Yeah. And so I brought up rebound margin, and you said, well, it's not necessarily the greatest metric, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense that it's not a great one to use to grade. So we asked, okay, how do fans kind of look through the same lens that you do? How do they gauge if this was a good rebounding performance or not? And some of the folks probably were actually at the Breslin Center, didn't get to hear a conversation. So if you don't mind sharing what the goal is, what the method is on rebounding for your squad.
Well, it's rebounding percentage because it's based on possession. So it can't be just a number. It's based on, and for us, if we turn teams over, there's less shots. So it's a rebounding percentage defensively, and it's a rebounding percentage offensively. And we do adjust according to who we're playing, right? The better the team, you got to pay attention to that. For example, Clemson, we knew going into the game, they get almost 38% of their shots back. That's almost like 4 out of 10 of their misses they're getting. That's really high rebounding rate. So that was an important part for us to take away. But it's by percentage of the possessions of the game.
And it's something that the whole team's aware of, that goal, and they're
very aware.
And they're very incentivized to go ahead and hit goals.
Yeah, they were asking me on the plane ride back last night if we got it. I'm like, what do y'all think? Because at the end of the Clemson game, the only reason they were even staying in the game is because we weren't rebounding it,
right.
And so we got finished, and they were like, but we won, Coach. And I was like, we did win. But we made it way harder than it had to be. So we'll stay with it.
That's great. Well, I tell you what, you could have maybe used Jonquil Jones was in the building down there in the Bahamas.
Yeah, so she's from the Bahamas, and then the Temple's coach is, their family. Legal guardian. And then the coach at Western Carolina was her college coach at George Washington. So a lot of cool connections. Clara, my daughter, actually got a chance to talk to her because we went to a New York Liberty game this year. And she's really tall. I wish she had some, and she can really shoot. I wish she had some college eligibility back.
You could certainly use that. The WNBA MVP and champion in Jonquil Jones. That was cool to have her there in the building. Spartan fans, if you live, work, or go to school in the state of Michigan, you can join MSU Federal Credit Union. Save more and carry the only colors in your wallet with MSU FCU. Open your account today at msufcu.org. MSU Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of Spartan Athletics. We're live with the head coach of the Spartans, Robyn Fralick, and today's show is presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You're listening to the Robyn Fralick Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Business building.
Okay.
Meet, greet, and compete in Michigan's capital city. The Lansing Sports Commission is dedicated to...
We got 2 prizes!
Athletic tournament.
I'm a rookie, so we'll be giving today. Generosity.
Services include everything from
One over here.
tournament planning to promotions and...
We had one over here.
No matter the sport, the LSC can make your next event your best event. Plan on something greater. Find details at Lansing...
The answer is Vanderbilt. Yeah.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No. First base!
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
We are back with more Spartan basketball on the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. Whether your moves across town or across the nation, the MUN team can help. Whether you're in the market to buy, sell, or both, check out the MUN team online at munteam.com. Jan and John Munn, serving buyers and sellers since 1985. They're realtors who get results. All right, let's flash back to our Alumni Hall trivia question. We asked you, with Sunday's win over Clemson, the Spartans now have 2 wins against the Tigers. The other was in 2007. Who led MSU in scoring in that win? And we have a trivia guess from our very own Stephanie. Stephanie, who do you think had the most points against Clemson in 07? Yeah. 41, yes, that is absolutely correct. Alyssa DeHaan. Great work, Stephanie. We'll get you some tickets and a gift card to Alumni Hall. Excellent work. Alyssa DeHaan with 26 points and 13 rebounds. And yeah, of course, wore jersey number 41 coming from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Great work there. Okay, so we have a big week ahead because Big Ten play starts for Michigan State women's basketball. The Spartans will travel out to Madison, Wisconsin. The Badgers, they're in a new era. They have Robyn Pinchton as their head coach for the first time. They're at Wisconsin. So far, the Badgers are 6-3. They're coming off back-to-back losses, but against some good competition. Number 13, Ole Miss, and James Madison as well. But what strikes you about Wisconsin in the early looks?
Well, a lot of new faces. So a lot of new faces on the roster. New coach, new system. They shoot a ton of threes. They run a motion. They're tough. They've got a little bit of like grit and grind to them. So, yeah, I think they're for me. I think even from a year ago, they look very improved. They're going to test us defensively because they run a lot of actions. They shoot a ton of threes, and they gave Ole Miss. I mean, it was a 1-possession game with a minute left. So they're really sticking in games, and we're going to have a good week of preparation.
It'll be really odd going against Wisconsin without Sarah Williams there because it felt like Sarah Williams was such a force all around for them. Of course, now she's transferred to UConn. But Robyn Pinchton came over from Missouri and Illinois State is where she was at prior to taking the job for the Badgers. But you mentioned the threes. Wisconsin ranked second in the Big Ten in threes per game and threes attempted per game. They put up 25 threes per contest, and they make 9 of them.
a huge part of their offense, and similar in some ways to Clemson, where they can, just kind of streak back into a game when you lose track of them at the arc. So it'll be important we have a good week of preparation and do a good job guarding the 3-point line.
I was going to say, and if you're trying to get that early scout yourself, Kyra Daniels leads the team with 13 points per game. She transferred from Missouri State. She's got 19 threes on the season. And then in the backcourt with her, Destiny Howell also has 19 threes this year, averaging more than 12 points a game, transferring from Howard. But that's kind of that 1-2 punch in that backcourt for them.
Yep, 2 new kids, both very good from the arc. And they do a lot of 5-out and kind of space you out. And if you're not sharp on your screening actions, they can get themselves open from 3. So, and they rebound the ball well. That's another thing, and defensively they'll kind of pack it in and be physical. So the tough matchup, Big Ten play is a whole different animal, but we'll be excited to have a good week to prepare.
Well, I was going to ask you about that too, because this is year 3 for you here at Michigan State. Year 1, you got Michigan State to a double bye in the Big Ten tournament, a top 4 finish. Last year, a lot of success, and the best year the Big Ten has ever had, with 12 teams making the NCAA tournament. What is it that's different about Big Ten basketball compared to anything else?
Well, it's really good. It's so good. It's like incredible players, great coaches, like styles. Everybody kind of has their own distinct style of play. It's really good. Last year we had 12 of the 18 teams in the league make the NCAA tournament. They're predicting, for whatever it's worth, it's early, even more this year. So you're playing elite teams night in and night out.
Yeah, you're right. ESPN's Charlie Cream projected at the beginning of the year 13 teams making the NCAA tournament, which that Big Ten tournament in Indianapolis is just a mini March Madness at that point. It
is. It's fun. It's why the Big Ten is so great. We have great coverage too. Women's basketball, we feel like it's in as good of a place as it's ever been, and it should be. When you really get to watch these games, there's just so many incredible women's players and teams.
There most certainly is. It makes it a lot of fun to watch and follow. Even Sparty knows everyone needs a timeout every now and then, so why not take yours at the beach? Myrtle Beach is home to 60 miles of warm sandy beaches, over 2,000 restaurants, and much more. Enter now for your chance to win your very own beach break getaway. Compliments of Visit Myrtle Beach. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/MSU to enter. Your ultimate beach break is a click away. Like it wasn't that beach, but time at the beach is a pretty good time. We just had that. It most certainly is. We'll be back to hear more from Coach Fralick after this, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Basketball.
Style or substance. Somehow it became one or the other when choosing a truck. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything. That's GMC Sierra. We are professional grade. Michigan residents get $1,000 lease cash. Well-qualified GM employees with a current eligible GMC lease use it to get a 24-month ultra-low mileage lease for $199 per month with $33.69 due at signing on a 2026 Sierra light-duty Elevation Crew Cab 4x4 with a 2.7-liter engine. That's $199 per month with $33.69 due at signing. Must be a current lessee of a 2020 model year or newer Buick or GMC vehicle through GM Financial for at least 30 days prior to the new vehicle sale. Tax, title, license, dealer fees extra. No security deposit required. Mileage charge of 25 cents a mile over 20,000 miles. At participating dealers only. Residency restrictions apply. Visit GMCOfferInfo.com for details.
Touchdown! From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No. First base!
Go, go, go!
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Thanks for joining us and the Spartan fans here at 1 North for the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. All right, before we get out of here and move on for the rest of the week and get ready for that Big Ten play that we talked about just a little bit ago, the rest of the week for Michigan State women's basketball, look, everybody's kind of rubbing their eyelids a little bit. That was a part of that travel from the Bahamas this morning. Everybody's a little bit tired, but what does the week look like as you kind of balance rest and prep?
Yeah, well, we got in about 1 a.m. last night, so it's a long travel day. Today, our team will lift and do recovery and stretching. We'll watch film. Tomorrow, we'll practice. Thursday off, and then practice Friday, Saturday, and play on Sunday. So we get a good little break to kind of get our legs back under us, but we'll have time to work on us and get prepared for Wisconsin. And a big week here at Michigan State. I know there's a big men's game, and then there's some big game Saturday at the Breslin. So yeah, MSU Duke, which is obviously really cool.
I was going to say, I think I heard a thing or two about that one coming up here this weekend. But the one that Michigan State women's basketball is a part of, that on Sunday will be played at 6 o'clock in Madison. You can join us for the radio broadcast on WVFN 7:30 a.m. We'll be taking the airways at 5:45. So make sure you tune in. You can hear Robyn ahead of that one as a part of that pregame show. And the next Robyn Fralick show will be next Tuesday, December 9th at noon. And again, that'll be on WVFN 7:30 a.m. All the MSU women's basketball broadcasts will be on WVFN 7:30 a.m., whether it's coach shows or games from here on out. So there's no more flipping between stations. We are just on 7:30 a.m. But Robyn, look, we've talked about a lot of different things. At this point, as you went through November undefeated, an entire month undefeated, what is it that you like so much about your team?
I like their maturity. Even coming off a trip like this with them, they're great kids. They do what they're supposed to do. They're focused. I like our depth. I think that's going to continue to be important. And I like their willingness to want to show up and keep getting better. They're a group that's hardworking and cares a lot about basketball, cares a lot about Michigan State. But coming off a week in the Bahamas, I thought their maturity really showed itself. And it was a group that was easy to be around, very responsible.
Well, and I think that's one of the reasons so many people love this group that you've put together here. And again, we talked about Abby Kimball's minutes and everybody's minutes as part of that depth. But Amy Terrian, we didn't get to talk on much as we wrap up the show. She got in early in the third, and she provided in those minutes.
Yeah, my favorite Amy story is when we were beating Temple, and at the end they had the ball for the last possession, and she's going, one stop! We're up 35 points. I'm like, I love this. This is what it's about. I say never be too cool to play the game the right way, and our group showed that.
There's no off switch with Amy Terrian. That is awesome. Couple of thank yous on the way out the door. Chris Ordway, our audio engineer, our producer back in the Skyview Studios, Matthew Contreras Valenzuela. On the video stream, Emma McEwen, a huge thanks to her as well. Big thanks to Spider. Big thanks to head coach Robyn Fralick and all of you who tuned in or in person in 1 North. Big thanks to you all. I'm Dalton Shetler. So long and go green.
You've been listening to the Robyn Fralick Show on the Spartan Media Network from Playfly Sports. The Robyn Fralick Show has been presented by Diversified Insurance Group, your independent insurance agency for home, auto, and life. The Robyn Fralick Show was also brought to you by